What's going on, everybody? Al here. Street Sense Q&A Part 4. Part 4.
The fourth time. Hello, everybody home.
Once again at the Creed Boutique with Louis
Cavallo and Al Hubie.
Bringing it to you.
That's it. Street Sense.
Part 4. Can you believe it?
It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, it always intrigues me on what kind of questions people have.
Yeah.
And it's really fun.
Yeah. No, I'm having a great time with it.
It gives us like a view into Creed, and so yeah. So keep them rolling.
Oh man, the questions have been amazing. And the last 3 videos were like 50+ minutes, and so many people writing to me that they literally sit for the whole thing.
That's
watch
crazy.
the whole video.
But you know what? It never felt like it was that long.
No, it doesn't. It's like a snap of a finger and we're done.
Yeah. It was so quick.
I'm having a great time. So thank you for all the questions. Keep them rolling. If you have any questions when you watch this video, comment down below. Let us know. Maybe we'll do a part 5 in the near future.
Absolutely.
All right?
Let's do it.
So you ready?
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. This is from Farid Far. Question to Louis, Rodney, and Al. I see my watch as much as an accessory as my sense. What watches are you wearing right now? Please showcase.
Actually, I don't have one. I don't have one on now.
Well, I know you're a big watch fan.
I am. The thing is that, because it's summertime here in New York City, and I've been doing a lot of lawn work, so I had this tan line. So my wife was making fun of me the other day, so I just took it off, and that way I can kind of even out the color tone. But one of my favorite watches that is they're not inexpensive, they're very fashionable, and I like the large face. Yeah. So TW Steel, they make great watches, and you can actually get some on Amazon for amazing, half price. You can go to Saks and get them, but TW Steel is good. Yeah, so a nice fashion watch, TW Steel. Also, they're like that, the diver.
Yeah.
I like the big. Or racing inspired. Anything racing inspired, a diver. I'm a sucker for blue. So anything blue or red, I love. Yeah.
Blue.
This is Movado.
This is not a big face, but it's a blue.
That's classic Movado. That's
this is the SC Sports Edition.
Yeah.
Blue Movado.
All right. So the last one I wore was one of my TW Steels. And
you like the blue, you're saying the blue and the big.
Correct.
I like the big bulky.
Correct, yeah.
This, even though this Movado is not that big, but I do own a lot of bigger watches.
I love that.
TW Steel,
they made check them out. Another one, if you, there's a higher, when I used to work at Barney's, I got a discount, but I have one of the classic U-boat ones.
Okay.
It's a company from Italy, so check them out. Now, at that time when I worked at Barney's, they were on sale for $700, and then with my employee discount,
wow,
that was good. Then they kind of went off the market, and then they came back 2 years later, but then they were $3,000, and it's whoa! So I'm glad I got it at that time. I don't wear it as much because it's one of my bigger watches. It's probably a 54.
Wow.
It's a 54 millimeter face.
54 millimeter.
So it's huge. It's definitely a statement, but it's an official diver watch.
Yeah.
So when you're underwater in murky water, you can see it.
Wow.
That way you're not late to dinner.
Yeah.
So
TW Steel.
TW Steel.
How much is TW Steel?
It depends. they go anywhere from $600 to $800.
Okay.
But you can get them on Amazon a lot. They always have sales on watches. $200, $250, $300.
Yeah. That's not bad.
So
all right, TW Steel.
So that's good.
Check it out. TW
watch.
Steel.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question. It's a long question.
All right.
It's an interesting question. This question is from Paco Pico.
Paco Pico.
He talks about how me and you talk about, a lot of things on the Q&As, and then he goes into this part right here, which I think is kind of interesting. If you can't think of enough questions, go to Base Notes and start a thread asking people what questions they would like to ask. So here we go. One of the main questions would be why you allow Louis to say they have been producing colognes since the 1700s without challenging the absurdity of such a claim. Is it true? Ask him. Why no one has ever seen a Creed bottle older than about the 1970s or so? If Creed has produced fragrances for over 200 years, ask Louis for some pics of those bottles. Surely they must have an old bottle of Royal English leather lying around from the 1800s. Don't they? After all, they are the Creed Boutique.
Yeah.
You would think they would have such historic articles in this store if they actually existed back then. Thanks for the videos. They are very interesting. Keep it up.
All right, so Paco Pico. So here's your answer. Well, I mean, let's go back to where Creed originated. So, we started in London in 1760, but initially we were not fragrance makers. We taught horse riding lessons, but really what we were really good at was making leather goods. They used to make leather saddles and boots and gloves and
not fragrance.
Hunting gear and not fragrances, not initially.
Okay.
Our very first fragrance came later on. That was in 1781. Absolutely, Royal English Leather was our first fragrance made for King George of England.
And that's all true.
That's all true. And now we had that up until a couple of years ago. Now you need to understand, I mean, our store, we opened our doors in the winter of 2009. So we were giving things that were in production, in France. So we don't have anything different than the Parisian store. We have everything that's in production today. Now fragrances like vintage Tabaron, Cuir de Rousse, or Cuir de Russie actually, the Napoleon scent, or some of these old ones. The reason we don't have them lying around is because people bought them. Trust me, if I had a bottle of Royal English Leather, I would have sold it today. I would have sold it yesterday, the day before. I mean, people look for these fragrances. I mean, if you look at maybe eBay and you look for like vintage Tabaron or what we call private Tabaron or Privé, that fragrance, it goes for thousands of dollars. It's only up until recently that people started really collecting these fragrances, and and then of course the internet wasn't around then, where you couldn't really take pics of like of life or your things, up until how long ago? 10 years ago maybe.
Recently,
So so just like anything else, old baseball cards from like pre-70s are rare, comic books, coins, and that you need to go.
They're not around.
Let's go back. People didn't. There was no value in that. There was no value in that. But what I can tell you, Al, is that when you purchase a Creed, right at the top of the box, right where it opens, it could be on a flacon or in one of the regular, it tells you here that we're the official supplier of Napoleon III. I mean, we actually...
In French.
In French, yeah. Napoleon III, Imperatrice Jean, George IV, Queen Victoria. I mean, it's not that we're just claiming. I mean, we put it in the box. And actually, on the flacon box, you can see on the side here, maybe some people don't even pay attention, but over here, this is actually a copy, a very small copy.
You get that,
of the official warrant that was given to us when we were appointed the official supplier of France by Napoleon. Okay. So Napoleon, when was he around? We don't have his bottles, but we have the warrants on the box to show you.
And to have the warrants, gotta be legal. It's not gonna.
Yeah. If you guys ever happen to go to France, I do invite you to go to our Parisian boutique. And there you will find the original hanging on the wall, which is a big
document.
It's a big document, because back then they were all handwritten. Okay. Yeah, so this is a miniature copy of the document right in the box. So it's not that we're just saying a story. I mean, we're putting it to you on the box. We're publicly stating that we made fragrances since the 1700s.
Absolutely. There's been articles I read, people saying, it's all BS. Like Creed just says that. I know that.
But if you talk to real Creed collectors, they have fragrances from way back. But again, people didn't have.
Tabaron was really just called Tabaron.
It was just called Tabaron.
We call it vintage Tabaron because.
But how many bottles are there around? People use them, they threw the bottles away. They don't take pictures of the fragrances. Creed for a long time, it was like one of those like very well kept secrets. It was only people that knew or people that traveled. I mean, now it's available in more places, which is great. Production has definitely stepped up. But for a long time, it was only if you knew somebody who was going to France or England or New York, that you could get an authentic Creed. So there was just not that many. And again, we never really sold to the public like now, Al. We were a commission house. So you would come to Creed and we would make you a fragrance specifically for you. So we've made a lot of fragrances in the past, but they were private. If we made a fragrance for you, like imagine Aventus was only made for you. Would you go around, giving bottles away? No. I mean, so it was really, at the discretion of the particular clients. I mean, a lot of them are still vaulted, So, yeah.
That's awesome.
And so, we have been making fragrances since the 1700s, and history. It's just passed down from father to son. That's all we've done ever.
Yeah.
So
now let me ask you a question. Tabarome, what's Millesime Tabarome and Tabarome? It's two different.
Yeah, two different fragrances.
Yeah. People have asked. So what
Tabarome or Privé or vintage, that's from 1875. Now it's not that they sold bottles that were held in a dungeon, and it wasn't like that. It was a re-edition, kind of like Windsor. They had made a batch, and they brought it back from the archives. Now then we have Tabarome Millesime, which was from 1920s. That was commissioned for Winston Churchill. So that's one of our historical fragrances.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
So yeah.
There you go.
Paco Pico. Great question. All right.
Paco Pico.
Paco Pico.
All right, Paco. Thank
Pico de Gallo.
This next question is from a guy. I think he's a young, he's a 15-year-old kid.
Wow.
He's
interested in Creed? My man. Great.
He asked the most questions in all the videos. He's always Christian Silva.
Oh yeah, Christian Silva. I think I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, he has so many questions. This kid is like, I may have to send you a present or something, like a little thank you, because he's all over the place.
Christian, do this. Call us here at the boutique. I would love to thank you personally. So call me.
Call
anytime.
212-439-7777. Give Lewis a call. Say what's up.
Absolutely.
Here's a question. He has a couple of questions on this. So here's one from Christian.
Okay.
Hey Lewis, I'm 15 years old. I own Original Santal.
Wow.
And Royal Oud. Other than those, what is the best Creed fragrance for a teenage boy like me? 3 at least.
First of all, those fragrances you have there are very advanced.
Yeah.
I would have never picked them for a 15-year-old. I have a couple nephews that are on that age frame, and my daughter's 12. So I would definitely do like Millesime Imperial, Erolfa, Virgin Island Water, just very easy, smooth fragrances. That don't shout. And just kind of like that.
I never think.
For you to wear Royal Oud, I think you have amazing taste. Amazing taste. And I hope you're getting a lot of compliments because that's one of my favorite ones. And I don't wear it all the time because I actually keep it for special occasions. Yeah. So great, good one.
Mr. Silva.
Mr. Silva.
He's gonna come back again in here. There's another question.
All right.
Let's move on. Next is from Ozan Lan. Question to Lewis: which Creed fragrance do you think is the most masculine?
When you think of masculinity, you think of dirty, aggressive, woody. So yeah, I like Tabarome Millesime. I think Tabarome. It's a great masculine fragrance.
There's leather in there, right?
Yeah, but it's just
tobacco.
It's tobacco. The name sounds really heavy. Yeah, Tabarome. It just sounds really masculine and powerful. But then also, it has character.
Yeah.
And that's what I would look for. So when I think like masculinity, like somebody with a lot of character.
Yeah.
I think Tabarome is a good one. Not for everybody. It's just one you have to try and see if it works for you. But amazing fragrance. Definitely.
Nice.
Definitely a statement.
Yeah, I love Tabarome.
Yeah,
I think it's underrated too sometimes. I feel like it's underrated, Tabarome.
Yeah. People that have been wearing Tabarome for many years, they don't switch.
They don't switch. They don't switch. Staple, right?
Yeah, they don't switch. And then, but then again, once it turns cool here in New York City, like in the fall, that's when we start moving Tabarome, Santal, Royal Oud, 1840, like that's
one of our top 4.
Yeah, Spice and Wood, yeah.
Remember the top 4 Creed?
Correct.
Tabarome is in there.
Tabarome.
Good question. Next one. I think we touched on this in the past, but we're going to touch on it one more time. It's from Tony Hines. What's up, Tony?
Tony.
How have the EU limitations of oak moss affected Aventus and Spice and Wood?
Aventus and Spice and Wood were made after the regulation was already in place. So there is a refined version of oak moss at a low percentage that you can use in your fragrance. So that's that. It's legal. We're making it.
And no difference, nothing's the same, right?
No, it's not. We going back to those classic Creeds. There was a fragrance called Cypress Musk. Okay. That one was loaded with oak moss. That one we cannot make again because it does have a large amount, which smelled amazing. But so Spice and Wood and Aventus came out after the regulation was in place, so they're safe. Okay. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay. All right, Tony, you don't have to worry.
But good question, because a lot of fragrances were actually reformulated from other houses that we're using. Some of the older, like Carolina.
No, I wear mine. This is for someone else.
All right, so let's move on. Next question is from Duffman. Duffman.
I know.
This might be a dumb question. Does Creed offer a service of refilling bottles when you run out with the fragrance instead of buying another bottle?
Wow. You know, that's a great question. I can't really tell you so much why it's great, but I can tell you to stay tuned because we may have something in place coming up. So, not necessarily the bottle, but something else. So do stay tuned, and I will reveal it on Street Sense. That way you guys can take advantage of this promotion that we'll be holding in the future.
Okay, so near future?
My lips are sealed on this one.
Okay, all right, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, something to look forward to. But great question. Wow. Stop picking my brain, people.
All right, so there you go, Duff Man.
Yeah.
Next question.
Wow, Duff.
Is from Wise Man. From Duff Man to Wise Man.
All right.
Which Creed fragrances does have the best projection? Not the ones that sit very close to the skin. And last, could you please ask Louis this question? Is there any Creed he would recommend for wearing at church? I'm going to a church where fragrances are allowed, but loud ones are not. Hope to hear your question on part 4.
Okay, so great projection fragrances. Definitely Original Santal, definitely Tabaron.
For church?
No. The best projecting ones.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 2-part kind of question, right?
Yeah.
So Tabaron, Santal, definitely Aventus, Spice and Wood, Royal Oud,
okay, that's
1849. Like, any of the ones that we have that are a little bit heavier, they definitely have great projection. Now, for church, you know, I don't think there's a right or wrong fragrance. I just think just find a fragrance that extends who you are. Because even if it's one of the strong ones, you know, if it's you, you can wear it anytime. Just kind of, you know, go easy. You know, like you're not gonna douse yourself from head to toe, you know, with Royal Oud, you know, before you're walking in. You know, but maybe if you want to do like a couple shots, you know, then you're good. But if you want to do a safe fragrance, Green Irish Tweed, Millesime Imperial, Silver Mountain, those work fine. Everybody likes them. They're easy to wear. And
really good for
anyway. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, Wise Man. From Duff Man to Wise Man.
Wise.
Okay, moving on. Next question. Wrecking Crew 07.
Oh,
Wrecking Crew 07.
Wasn't that a band in the 80s?
It says, y'all, you two are the only people that can make a 55-minute video that I can watch.
All right.
There you go. Thanks for the insight, Louis. I wore a Rofa all this weekend. I decided to pull it out and be my signature scent since Friday night. After the successful night, the streak carried on till today. Great freaking juice. And yes, I also rock Aventus, GIT, MI, and Silver Mountain Water. Can't explain the confidence and compliments I get from the most underrated Creed. By the way, I live in Texas, and we have a rather large female college student population. Guys, don't sleep on a Rofa. It's just, I guess, a shout out.
Yeah, you know,
don't sleep on a Rofa.
I don't want to say Rofa is a sleeper. You know, you need to understand, like here in New York, we're more seasonal as the way we wear fragrance, so that we kind of change pretty often. And you know, and also Creed Boutique is based here, so people come here all the time to change. But people in Texas, people in Florida, people in California, and all these like warmer states, you know, they're wearing a Rofa all the time. They're wearing Virgin Island all year long because, you know, it kind of goes with the setting. If you're in Miami, you can wear Virgin Island non-stop. You know, the party never stops. So a Rofa is a good one if you're in Texas.
And he's saying that that's his most complimented out of all of them.
That's great. That's great. Well, it probably, so it extends who you are, obviously. So, you know, you're a Rofa kind of guy. And congratulations, and you know, thank you for having such a vast collection of Creed.
And thank you for watching the whole 55 minutes. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good question.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a question. It was just him saying that.
Statement.
Yeah, statement.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Next is from Towdy90. Towdy. Most people say leaving fragrances in direct sunlight can destroy the juice inside. Wouldn't the testers at the Creed Boutique go bad eventually? From what I saw, the bottles are left in the open. Customers will be coming in and smelling spoiled fragrances.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, all fragrances have 3 enemies. That's a great question, by the way. And I hope after I answer this, you guys can start shifting your fragrances around through your house, but never keep your fragrances in the bathroom.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah.
And definitely, you know, the sunlight. So air, light, and heat. So, you know, keep your fragrances airtight, and a dark place is great. You know, the thing about the Creed Boutique, you guys need to understand, we are the flagship store in North America. You know, so our fragrance testers get depleted constantly.
Yeah.
You know, from the local clients that live around here that come in and they spritz themselves before going to work.
Yeah, look, it's empty. Drop them off empty.
Yeah, or you know, or we make samples for people. We're constantly spraying. So the testers here get depleted. They don't really sit around too long.
That's true. That is true. I see them out here.
Yeah.
All day.
It's all day long. So, you know, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., you know, we're spraying these bottles. So we do go through them pretty quickly, but that is a good question. But so never keep your fragrances in the bathroom. You know, and your dresser's okay. Creed fragrances are made to withstand, you know, like any kind of like temperature, just not extreme.
Yeah, like bathroom.
And lighting, again, it can withstand lighting, just not extreme. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind, you guys. And you'll get most like that out of your bottles, not just Creed, but any fragrance.
Where do you keep your fragrances? Do you have
On my dresser.
On your dresser?
Yeah, you need to understand now, like before I used to have many fragrances, but over the years I kind of slimmed down. So I only have like 3 on my dresser that I use constantly. And
your collection is more than 3, or you downsize it to 3?
No, it's more than 3, but the 3 that I use, I have out.
And with the rest?
The rest I have in a closet, just kind of just kind of sitting there.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just sitting there. I mean, you know, I don't want to name other fragrances, but you know, not because I work for Creed, but I do wear Creed most of the time. I just think that for me, I get stopped a lot. You know, I get a lot of compliments, and from time to time I do wear other things that I like. Oh, thanks. You know, so I'll wear other things, but it's kind of like, and I'm excited to wear it. I'm like, oh, I haven't worn this one in a while, and then nobody says anything. So then I'm like, back to my Creed.
I'm the same way.
So I guess I'm kind of spoiled, but you know, it just kind of works for me. So
I'll be honest with you, I'm the same way. I have so many fragrances.
Yeah.
Majority of them are in a dark place, and I have a few on my dresser, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And they're Creeds. You know, I'm always going. Aventus is like one of my, you know, go-to fragrance. I mean, it's just I can't go wrong with that.
What can I say?
And you know,
it's a great fragrance.
I'm spoiled too because you know I get some samples from you, and I own some Creed bottles, and you know I can wear it and I love it. You know, so I don't blame you for wearing Creed.
Yeah, it just works. It just works. No, you know, and the thing is, you know, it's very hard to impress other people that work in the fragrance industry. But you know, whenever I visit my friends at Barney's or Neiman's or at Bergdorf Goodman and Saks, you know, I always, they're like, oh my God, you smell great. And they work in fragrance, so you know, that's a great compliment to get from somebody who actually is in the industry. You know, because it's very hard to impress people that work in this field. So
I met up with a few other reviewers, and they were like, you smell good, I was wearing Aventus. So it's like, that felt good too.
You see.
All the reviewers that own many fragrances compliment, like Steve from Adolescence, you know, friend of mine. He told me, you know, you smell great. And, you know, he's a big time reviewer, and he complimented me, I felt good, you know what I'm saying? And I was wearing Aventus, you know?
That's awesome.
And I know Steve loves Aventus just as much as I do.
Aventus.
Big shout out to Steve from Adolescence.
If you guys haven't tried it, run, don't walk. Run to your nearest Neiman's and try it.
Yes.
Run.
Yes. All right, so moving on. You smell great.
Thanks.
You want to reveal your scent of the day?
How about at the end?
Okay.
How about at the end? This one's a fragrance a lot of people haven't heard of.
We'll reveal it at the end.
We'll reveal it at the end.
Next question is from Michael Reynolds. This is kind of became a friend of mine throughout time. Great guy. He's a big supporter of Street Scents. Michael, big shout out to you. He says, Al, Creed Boutique and Creed is all I need. Plus Street Scents. You do an amazing job, and now I have my 10-year-old watching Street Scents.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so great. You know, my daughter turned 12. And you know, and she also sees it, and it's funny because you know she tells her little friends in school, "Oh my God, my dad's on YouTube." So I don't know if that's like embarrassing to her, but all her little friends watch it, and they're always like, "Oh, Al."
That's awesome.
You know, so from my little daughter's class, 6th grade class, everybody loves Street Scents.
That's awesome.
So I'm sure your son is, you know, it's having fun with it, so, and I do appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah,
and Al, I appreciate you coming.
No,
it's
thank
great.
you. I appreciate
just getting the the Creed word out, and the knowledge really is the knowledge, because knowledge is power, right?
Yeah,
and that way,
knowledge is big.
Yeah, that way you guys don't get duped on the fugazis.
Yes, the fugazis. That's from Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco.
Yeah, that's a fugazi. The ring on the
That's
tape.
it.
I like that.
Fugazi.
Michael Reynolds, big shout out to you. It was a nice statement.
Michael.
The son watching Street Sense, that means a lot.
Yeah.
The son wears some heavy fragrances too. He wears a lot of Creeds. 10-year-old boy rocking Creeds. That's awesome.
Amazing.
I think he lives like in Texas or somewhere, like somewhere far out there.
If I wore Creed at 10, I'd probably be a senator or something right now. Something like that. Like some politician.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, like my hair would be white and kind of curly in the back.
Yeah. We tried to get Arnold on Street Sense, but we couldn't. Remember?
Yeah, we're like Arnold. He's
Yeah.
gotta be back.
He never
did. He never did.
But he was a cool guy, though. All right, so moving on. You ready?
Yes.
Next question. To keep y'all cool. To keep you cool.
To keep you cool.
This question wasn't answered in part 3, so I'm hoping that it will get answered in part 4. All right, and it will. Question for Lewis. Will the entire private collection line be offered again for special events, atomizer promotion in the future? Could you now make a Street Sense video on the entire private collection?
Wow. Private collection fragrances are difficult. What that entails, it's every few years Creed reaches into their archives and they reintroduce one of the classics.
Can you name a few?
Yeah, like Tabron,
Okay.
Windsor, Bois de Santal.
Yeah, he wrote
Cypress Musk.
He wrote a few.
Yeah, Angelique and Sans of Epinacacia. Yeah, I mean these are fragrances that are very
considered
very
a
rare.
private collection.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Also Sélection Vert, Feuille Vert, Fleur de Terre Rouge Bulgare, Verbene Narcisse. A lot of people don't know about these fragrances. Like I said, these are old fragrances. They're very hard to come by, and they're not produced because ingredients are very hard to find, or they're just extremely expensive. So so every few years they do reintroduce private collection if they can make the fragrance, the formula, because they do keep it strictly original. So everything's all hand weighed the same and hand filtered the same way, and they try to mimic and emulate the same formula. But it's as regulations have changed, so some of these fragrances had to go away. It gets harder and harder.
So is this the private collection going back to what that guy asked before about the old school fragrances?
Yeah, correct.
That's what that's all about,
that's
right?
exactly what that's about. So
Yeah,
every few years we have introduced fragrances through the past, but it'll be a limited production for a select market, and then once they finish, they're finished.
And Vintage Tavern never was able to be brought back, right?
I don't know if they'll bring it back in the future. I mean, that's up to the discretion of the Creed family, and if they can make it.
Yeah.
It's all about the production.
Yeah,
so if they can get the ingredients, and if it's not, if it's within the standards, of the IFRA, and so what the future will bring, who knows? I mean, they have many fragrances in the vault.
Yeah.
We say vault, but it's recipe books and fragrances. I mean, they've been making fragrances for 255 years, you guys. And that's the thing. So basically, a private collection of fragrances is a limited time view of the past.
Yeah. Awesome.
So will they come out again? Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
I like that. Time will tell.
Yes.
All right. Good question. Next, Christian Silva.
Christian Silva.
Is Olivier and Fabienne divorced?
Divorced.
How does he know that?
Well, I don't like to talk about people's personal lives, but Fabienne is Mr. Creed's wife.
Okay.
I can't really talk into the private.
Okay.
But that is a fact. It's funny you mentioned that because a lot of people don't know, but that goes back to Erolfa. Erolfa are the initials. So ER is for Erwin, OL is Olivia, and then FA is Fabienne, Mr. Creed's wife. So Erolfa is the family scent.
Okay. All right. The family scent.
The family scent.
This kid is actually doing his research. You know, he's back again with another question.
Silva, you are on fire.
This is from Christian Silva again.
Okay.
What does Olivia Creed do for the company?
Wow. So the company has always been passed down from father to son. Has there been women in the Creed family? Absolutely. But they all have different functions.
Olivia is
the daughter of Mr. Creed.
The daughter, okay.
Yeah, so she definitely works for the company.
Okay.
You know, she's in charge of logistics and color, you know, so packaging. So there's different. No, the chemistry part is it would be Erwin and Olivier.
Okay. And Olivia helps with packaging and whatnot, design.
Yeah, all other functions.
So she has some part.
She is a Creed.
Okay.
She's definitely a Creed. It's in her genes. As a matter of fact, she was in New York. It was like 2 years ago.
Christian Silva coming through again. Good question. All right, next question is from Archie M.
Archie, I used to love those comic books. Archie, remember Archie? Jughead?
Yeah, Jughead. Archie.
Oh my God, I'm showing my age.
And we have a similar taste, you know, movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Question, what was Louis' first love purchased from Creed brand since he started to work there? A shout out from Poland.
Wow. Well, it's funny because my first love of Creed, it was Green Irish Tweed. I had smelled it in a restaurant.
Before you worked?
Yeah,
right?
just before I worked for
remember
Creed.
the story.
Yeah, and so, you know, even before I worked for Creed, I had bought many bottles of Green Irish Tweed. That was one of my favorites. Once I started working here in the boutique, my first purchase was an atomizer filled with a fragrance called Windsor. That was part of the private collection. When we opened this store, we were given a select amount of Windsor, and that was one of my first purchases. It was a fragrance that
blew you away?
Yeah, I've never smelled anything like that.
Okay.
And it was something that it was really intriguing to me. And the more I smelled it, the more addicting it became. So I went through my atomizer really quick, and that was really before I understood this whole private collection thing. You know, we were all new working at Creed, and before you knew it, we were down to a couple of them, and clients were calling for it. I'm like, oh, should I buy another one or sell it? So we sold it. You know, I mean, you know, I have a job to do.
Yeah.
So
Windsor, forget about it.
Windsor is a pretty magnificent scent.
Yeah. No, magnificent. It was like people paying big money for those bottles.
Yeah, I remember if you guys are in New York, you know, we have the local news Fox 5. When we opened this fragrance, when we opened the store, they came to do an interview with the president of Creed in North America, and Windsor was featured during that segment, and it was great. It was. So yeah, once it was through the news, so people were calling like crazy.
Yeah.
It was just one of those fragrances that kind of like took your breath away.
Yeah.
And plus, you know, the storyline, it was just great. So,
and it came in a flacon, but then it came in
a flacon,
right?
and it was in a pre-filled atomizer, a special color. It was like a charcoal gray one.
Oh, there was never. You had a tester. That was the tester, the 1 ounce. You had a tester here.
Yeah, it was like 2.5 ounce. Those were testers.
But they never sold it in that size, right?
No, never sold in that size.
Okay.
It was a flacon.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Because I know the Royal Exclusives come in another size, right? 1 ounce.
Yeah, we have them in the 1 ounce exclusively here.
Like Spice and Wood.
Spice and Wood. Jordan Amalfi.
Okay, that's why I got mixed up with that. Because I did a video in Windsor with Mark when he was here.
Oh, Mark Rose,
Yeah, Rose. And then you had big shout out to Mark Rose. We did a video and you had a tester of it, so that's why I got confused.
Yeah.
It was like so. All right, moving on. That was a good question. Number 14. This question number 14 is from Chris Cayupo. Chris Cupo. All right. Hey, Al. First of all, thank you for doing these kind of videos. I find them really entertaining and interesting. At the same time, I'm a huge Creed fan myself. I have 2 questions for you and Louis. Number 1, the cap of Silver Mountain Water, 120 ml bottle, sits very tightly and not like on my Aventus, where it sits pretty loosely. Is there something that should worry me? And number 2, I currently own Aventus and Silver Mountain Water, which I both love. In your opinion, what 3rd edition would be best extend my Creed collection? I'm 21 years old. Thank you in advance, and many greetings from Germany.
All right, fantastic. So about the loose cap. Now, here's the thing. As you guys know, Creed, you know, they have a pretty high concentration of oil.
Okay.
Yeah. So at a molecular level, they're a little bit slicker and a little bit oilier, a little bit thicker weight than most fragrances. So it could just be that, maybe as you're spraying, there was a little bit on the nozzle and you put the cap back on. So it could be a little oily. So my recommendation to you, just with a little cotton ball or tissue, a little bit of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, just clean the inside of your cap and your nozzle, and it should fit a little bit.
But there's no difference.
No, it should be a little tighter.
Okay.
Okay. However, I mean, now if you bought a Creed fragrance in the past couple months, you'll notice that we have changed the actual atomizer and the magnet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we actually have a cap around the neck.
Okay.
Yeah. And it has a little rivet. So when you push down on the cap, it clicks now. And and then you can hold the bottle like this by the cap and will not fall.
Okay.
So go through your bottle. Don't really, shouldn't really be a big deal. Clean it up, it'll stay. But in the future, you won't have that problem because now they'll click.
Yeah, but they've been changing the atomizers. A lot of different changes.
New technology.
No logo on top of the sprayer.
Yeah.
People are freaking out. Is it fake? Is it not?
Yeah.
And the atomizer size changed. So it's,
well, listen, the fragrance community now is huge.
Yeah.
Now it's huge. Now it's a force. So a lot of people are talking. The passing of information is huge. But it's something that we've always done out. We always change something in the packaging, even something small, as time goes by. One, to kind of like
all the times
detour from what's real and what's not. So that way, if you're working on one of the Neiman Marcuses or Saks, and somebody comes in with a fake or imposter Creed, right away.
Yeah.
Because it's things that we look for.
So
little by little, they have always changed little things. And then of course, packaging kind of moved to the times and more modern luxury. And just technology. It's just a combination.
All right, good question.
Yeah.
And people, wait, this is the second part. I currently own events of Mountain Water, which I both love. In your opinion, what would be the third extended Creed collection?
Actually, I could definitely recommend you two. I would do Millesime Imperial or Being Irish Tweed. It's very easy.
Yeah, it's simple.
I mean, those four are deadly.
Yeah.
With those four, you're gonna have an arsenal that is amazing, and you will carry those four fragrances on for many, many years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Germany.
All right.
Worldwide.
And be the Zen.
All right, to the last question. We're gonna wrap it up here.
All right.
I have a lot more.
All right.
But I'm gonna save that for
part five.
Yeah. And please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask away. So I have a bunch, and we'll have some more, and we'll do part 5 in the future. Last question. This is from Tony. It's an email. Alan Lewis, what else do you collect besides fragrances?
Oh my God! Actually, liquor.
Liquor.
Yes, I have actually a big arsenal of stuff. I have a whole Johnny Walker collection.
Blue label and all.
Yeah, the blue, the platinum, double black, all that. Different rums. I like that stuff.
So you have a collection of.
Yeah, I have a huge collection. It's a little bit more than a bar. It's a lot. My wife's like, oh my God. And the thing is that they're all sealed. I don't even drink that much.
Just like having them.
They just look really cool. And some of the bottles. Some of the bottles are just really nice. And it's really funny because I have a lot of strong stuff at the house. But I don't even open them. I have these big, huge quart bottles of the Don Julio tequila. They're big flacon bottles like that with a big cap, metal cap, all carved. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
But I don't even open
them.
You don't open them. But I do like my mojitos.
Yeah.
I make mango mojitos at home, and delicious.
Sounds good, mango mojito.
Yeah, mango mojito, especially now in the summer. That's the drink of choice for 2015 4th of July.
Mango mojito.
Yeah, mango mojito.
All right.
4th of July.
4th of July.
Next weekend, you guys.
Right around the corner.
Next weekend. And that day I'll probably wear Virgin Island. And I'll be outside. Everybody's coming to my house.
Virgin Island. Let's make it a Virgin Island water day.
Let's do that. Everybody out there. 4th of July, if you have Virgin Island water,
wear it.
Wear it.
Let us know. Comment down below.
Wear it. Let us know what kind of response you got. Okay?
Awesome. Comment down below.
Comment down below. I love to hear the different compliments that people get.
Yeah. It's fragrances with how they do and compliments.
Absolutely.
Please comment down below. Let us know. You actually responded to last video. I saw you in the comment.
Yes.
You touched up on the Silver Mountain Water.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, you know,
So
there is something we're going to reveal in your show, Al.
Okay.
All right, so still stay tuned to that.
Coming soon.
Not yet.
Okay.
Coming in the near future, you
All right.
guys. So big news from Creed. There's just a lot of stuff happening.
Awesome.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
as we get closer to these revealing dates, I'll definitely give you a call, and then we'll do another segment.
We'll make that happen.
And you guys will be first to know, only in Street Sense.
Awesome. I appreciate
Exclusive.
that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh my
I'm
God.
excited. I really am.
We're all excited. It's an exciting time to be part of the Creed organization right now.
Awesome.
It's just an exciting time.
So some good things that will
Amazing things.
All right.
It's like I can't contain myself.
Okay. Hold it.
Oh yeah. I've been sworn to secrecy.
All right. So there you have it. Part 4.
Part 4. Al.
Thank you so much, man. That's
Always
part
a pleasure.
No, thank you.
And
Thank you enough.
so many views, man. It's like
Yeah.
I check up on you every once in a while, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean,
You're on fire.
a lot of people. Thank you so much to everybody out there. You know, I watch your videos. It's been a nice journey, and the journey continues. I mean,
Absolutely.
the fire's still there.
It continues.
I love my fragrances.
So many fragrance releases, they keep coming
a lot
out.
of
It's just
new Creed news. Looking forward to that. You know, a lot of things.
a lot of Creed news.
Creed news and new releases and you know, just getting my nose on all these fragrances and going to the bargain bin fragrances. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I go to my Marshalls here and
Absolutely.
there.
It's intriguing,
You know,
right?
you see the $5 fragrance, you buy it, and you go home and smell it, and it smells good, and you're excited.
Yeah,
you know?
but also it's like a blast to the past. Like sometimes you see these fragrances that you wore 20 years ago,
Yeah, you revisit them.
right? But then also, like you think, is it me now? Wait, you know?
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Fantastic.
Before we wrap this up, your scent of the day.
Oh my God. My scent of the day is a fragrance called Royal Mayfair.
Royal Mayfair.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Smells amazing.
Yes.
Stay tuned. Part 5 hopefully will come soon. It's gonna come soon. I have a lot of questions. There'll be more questions. So part 5.
We'll make it the minute the questions come in.
There you go.
Throw the questions, we'll do part 5.
We'll do part 5. The Creed Boutique, New York City, 212-439-7777. Call up, say what's up to Louis. Tell me so much he says. I don't